I got an STI.
The Ascent has been dead for a long time. It got killed in the snow. So this took 5 tubs, 5 tubes of sealer.
5. What? 2 tubes.
Ah well, it took about a month for it to set. Salesman slaps roof of car with sealer hand.
Already got the bonnet all the way up.
Yeah, this is just...
Yes!
Looks like fucking... What's
You're
it
right.
called? The pet wheel. Just an old airplane propeller. Right, so you have a new bike. What's the story with this? Where did you get it? You got the frame.
In Colombia, man.
And then the rest of it is made out of fancy parts. You just built the most ridiculous wheelie bike you could possibly build.
Pretty much. I bought every hoe part available on the market. Oh yeah, and the street racing hoses, Goodrich.
Yeah, Goodrich.
We got the pegs.
Got the peg.
We've got a quick release.
Quick release.
Quick release kind of went with the discreet colour.
Yeah, you tried to make it look like it was...
Yeah, like I want to kind of blend in with everything.
Yeah, you don't really want it to stand out.
Yeah.
So you went for the lime green because it's pretty subtle, blends in.
Exactly. Okay.
This is why nothing ever gets done out here.
This is why I'm meant to be doing something.
See,
but look at me now, I'm drilling holes.
Dougie has lots of stuff to do. I should be working on my car, and
Fitzy has no excuse.
Fitzy has no excuse. This is the Ascent's last days because it's fucked, so it's turned into a trials course.
Yes, I got myself locked. Pretty fucking hot.
Making a serious mission out of this. So these cars probably don't seem that rare to a lot of you that are American or whatever, but these are actually fairly rare in Ireland. They were like 50 grand here because of our shitty import laws. Ireland's first ever Japanese imported GT86. The place I work for, we brought this in for Sean. Yeah, first 2J conversion in Ireland.
First throttle cable with tape on it.
First throttle cable with tape on it. What we have here then is an A31 Cefiro. This is a pretty interesting car because these are pretty common in other countries, like the Middle East for some reason, and I think Australia has quite a few of them, maybe New Zealand. There's probably only about 8 of these in Ireland, and they just never really got the love when the craziness of bringing cars in from Japan was at its all-time high. Nobody really gave a shit about the Cefiro. I don't know why. It's kind of like a 4-door S13, especially because of the brick headlights, and then if you take out the grille and stuff, it really has that S13 look. This is kind of like Ruben's Laurel. Nissan were making a whole bunch of shit at the same time that was kind of the same thing. So they had the 32 4-door, the Cefiro, the Laurel, Gloria, the Sima. Like there is so much stuff coming out of Nissan at the exact same time. That was kind of competing against itself. Same with like all the X series with the Toyotas. Wouldn't get away with doing that today. TD05 Greddy. It's a Plasma Man replica. GTR injectors.
Trusty.
Yeah, trusty monster can. Yeah.
The old RVs are known for the old
Spillage.
Yeah. All custom intake, all custom exhaust, all custom intercooler piping.
Yeah.
GTR intercooler.
Got an LSD in the rear. So you've had this on and off for years, like you've kind of gone through a love-hate with the car. But you are literally the only person left, I think, that has one of these on the road.
So what I can tell anyway, because like you said, there's about 7 or 8.
Yeah, there's like 7 or 8 and we kind of know where they all are, but
they're all in shape.
this is literally the only one that's actually out on the road doing stuff. It's quite cool. For a country that's so obsessed with Japanese cars, people really just kind of glanced over the old Cefiro. I've always had a thing for him, ever since Pete Taylor's one, which we'll put here. He began my love for these cars. Yeah, I think that happened for a lot of us. I've been mad to take photographs of this for a while. I did a photo shoot of Pete's one years ago and then it just bit the dust. I know the shell is in a shed somewhere, but yeah, I don't know. They're a really nice car and definitely like in the madness of Japan making fucking 4-door varieties of everything, like Rubens Lahr, like that was at the exact same time as this car and they were competing against each other on the market to be the same type of executive 4-door luxury sedan. The Japanese saw the potential in them and then started making all these kits, and the cool thing about all this Nissan stuff is it's like fucking Lego. You can pull shit out of one car and put it into the other, like just like the Toyotas, but suddenly you can just build like a bit of a subtle drift machine out of, you know, what was just supposed to be just like a fancy car for some businessman. Let's have a look. Yeah, so I like the fact you've obviously kept the interior, but this thing has a cage in it.
Yeah,
full dash dodger cage, just the classic Nardi, now Bride bricks, 1.5. I guess you drive this a lot, so kind of need a bit of creature comfort as opposed to having a fully gutted out car. Ireland doesn't have enough road cars anymore. Like the government kind of cripples us with taxes that really try to stop people from having cars like this on the road. So I always respect people that are kind of sticking it to the government and still driving cars like this, because it's getting harder and harder every year to really have something like this and enjoy it. As much as we have such a strong car culture, we really have kind of a hard time just having a car culture. Luckily, like the mods aren't as, you know, strict as Australia. Still, I don't know, like, it's still pretty hard. Like, who knows how long we'll get to drive this stuff on the road.
Half machine is it?
It does the job anyway.
Well, I tell you, myself at home in Midland, I have an Opel Skona, 1972.
Jeez.
Right?
Yeah.
I bought it up in Donegal. And honest to God, it's no lies, happened to the car. When the car came up in Donegal village town for sale, and of course I had to see it because it was 1972 coupe. Now my dad had one of them in 1974. There were 1900 rigid engine inside them. And that time, in 1974, they'll do 113 miles an hour the same car. Back that time.
Yeah, that must be mental for back then.
In 1974, crazy! And I see the car, I said, flick, I said, look, I must go to this car. He goes up in there, and I seen the car. But she was a 2 litre. They never came out in 2 litre, this same model now, right? The highest that they ever came as was a 1900, 1600 and 1900. And they never came as a fuel injection system. But she was all fuel injection system.
Alright.
Brainy here. When I seen the car, I fell in love. I knew it was a real car. And if bought the car off menu in 3 wars. 3 wars, the car was bought.
Yep.
That's no lie. I bought the car, right? Went into the bank, found him on, stayed there that night in the hotel at night. Went for him on, banked that money over, everything changed over. Rang me uncle. So get down to the north, don't hear Donegal as fast as you can, and bring on the recovery truck. He came in here 2 days later, he came in here and picked up the car. She was 245 brake horsepower.
Fucking hell.
This is now. When your man had the car, he done the car up so much, She was called the pace car. She go out in the front of the Form 1 track and she checked the track, see the track. She was the track wet, the wheels were slippery for the Form 1 cars to come out. She was all done up in there, the suspension was all done this, and around 39,000 spending it in the same car.
Yeah.
And I bought it, I'll tell you, I bought it for €15,000. Now I'd get out of money for it. But my uncle said to me after, he said, "This is my nice car." When I came home with the car, took off the transporter, of course couldn't wait to get a good driver, hopped into the car, you know, drove up the road, came back. You couldn't put into first gear because you blow the back diff off it. You couldn't put into second gear, you blow the back diff off it. I never in history, I had the car for three weeks and I had 8 penalties. that's why I got rid of the car.
Oh, it's gone.
I sold it.
Oh, Jesus.
If you want to know, if you want to see an Opel, come to Mickle, County Cork. She'll do 175 miles an hour.
Jesus Christ.
No, in no distance. The only place you man had her in the Isle of Man. Because out the Isle of Man there's no speed limit.
Yeah.
Just float. That's why I was walking in there and I said, she's powerful now.